Living in Ibiza, for me, it's one of the only places I can live in because first, it's close to the water and it has the sun. I can get very moody easily and I need these two elements in order to feel better. Some people, they can handle the city. I mean, I love the city. I love New York, I love Paris and London, but here I really feel like it's closer to where I grew up, in Holon, in Israel, which is like not so far from the sea. And that's essential for me, but at the same time, I found a group of people here that really makes me feel like I have a family here. Like true people that absolutely love music, and I would say love to party. And if I admit about myself, obviously some people know, I came from rock to this world. And I didn't grow up as a party person. And for me to see these people that live here and come here, they absolutely, genuinely wanna party. And for me, it's an inspiration to be among these people that looks at party as the essence of their life, but not as an escape thing. They're not escaping for anything. They just really believe in the magic of seeing a lot of people dance together, and they just live it. And I don't know, get inspired by these people. People forget that Ibiza is one of the most spiritual islands on the entire planet. Hippies have been coming here since the 50s, the 60s. There was a Cubism movement here. Salvador Dali used to go to Pacha. The Beatles were here. Pink Floyd made an album in Ibiza. And I think one example that is very big in the culture of Ibiza is a Svedra. It's this rock that, you know, there's a rumor that maybe it's the second or third most magnetic rock in the world. And it's all made out of glass, by the way. It's not metal. And I don't know, people just go to watch it, watch the sunset in front of it. There's gatherings around it, and there's a whole culture around it that's been going for, I don't know, like many, many decades. And for me, as I said, I'm not a hippie, but I get inspired by the dedication and devotion of people for all these spiritual moments. Whatever I do, I try to have some kind of a meaning or a message behind it. That not necessarily I know what's the message. Sometimes it's, you know, I don't know who said it, but he said like in the studio, some people think of what they wanted to say and then they do it. For me, it's more like this, I will call it like, I first shoot the arrow and then I paint the target around it. If you listen to a lot of great music in your life, and if you read enough books, and if you saw a lot of movies, you know that if you will make something, this thing will echo in your work. And you don't have to necessarily think, okay, I saw this music and this film, and that was the inspiration for that track. No, that track is the sum of all the things that inspire you. And I like to look at it like that, Obviously, later, and I think one of my biggest inspiration is Marcel Duchamp. It sounds like a big name for an inspiration, but what I like about him, that he was challenging, he was doing art that challenged art. And it's very important for me to make something that make people ask questions. Okay, he plays with a computer. That's not so cool. It's not so cool. It's better to play with vinyl. It's much cooler to play with vinyl. But look, there's a lot of girls behind him, and he's still with the computer. So is it cool or not cool? I see that people are dancing, but he looks like he's just checking his emails. So this thing, I like this kind of like contradiction. And I know that some people might think it's like absurd, or might think, hey, that's not so cool, that's not so great. But the most important thing is the music. So just to finalize that thing, first you shoot the arrow, and later it just finds the target around it. Don't try to think in advance. Just do your thing, and at one point the world will understand it. There is definitely a lot of egos in this business. I think ego is very destructive and it can ruin your life. But at the same time, this world is made with people that have that ego was driving them to do insane things. Because if everybody would just be just like satisfied, people would invent the computer. Einstein, I'm sure he had some ego. If everybody would try to be a hippie, and we'd be like, no, there is no competition, and it's just like everything is very nice, I think it would be a little bit boring. It's good that there is some kind of competition because it drives people to be better and to try to offer more things to this world. The only thing that is important is to stay loyal to yourself and to stay loyal to the music and not to forget where you come from. Because you could be in a competitive situation, but I think it's also very important to play fair. When people start to make people do things, like let's say somebody tried to cancel your party by calling the police, that's wrong. Somebody call another person, don't book this guy because he's like this and that, that's wrong. Some person doesn't like another guy because it's other person's success, that's wrong. But besides that, the competitive part, you know, it makes people be better. I'm not against it.